but we're gonna talk about part 2 of the body painting series, because I said a long time ago I would do that, and here we are, we're talking about it now, so you can't be upset. We're gonna talk about some problems that people told me that they had when it comes to using body paint, because that's my thing. I love body paint. And we're gonna talk about a couple solutions, because some of them are really easy to fix and some of them you're just using the wrong body. But let's start with streaky paint. Streaky paint's something that comes up a lot, frequently with water-based paints. If it's coming up with something like PAX paint, then you probably need to reapply it and do more layering. If you're lost at all on what paint I'm talking about, go ahead and refer back to the first video. I'll put a link somewhere, probably down here, because I haven't, still learning. But streaking with water-based paints generally just means that it's like kind of cheaper, or you're working with a lighter color. Whites are especially challenging because they will perpetually not be even. There are a couple ways to fix that. You can pat on the paint. You can also do a crisscross, like an X motion with your brush while you're painting it on, and that can help eliminate some of the streaks. Buying better paint, again, is not a bad option if you're using like Spirit Halloween cream paint. It's gonna it's not great paint. Walmart brand is worse, but Spirit Halloween is like okay at best. All of those can help. Another tip is just to use a similar color eyeshadow, and I recommend, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but like a matte color for whatever color you're painting yourself. So like if you're going pink, get some matte pink eyeshadow, which they're getting easier to find. When I was a kid, I had a hard time, not a kid, but when I was younger, I had a hard time finding matte, colorful eyeshadows. They're a lot easier to find now. So all of those methods can help with streaking. If you're dealing with your paint rubbing off on things or staining stuff, it's a little bit to be expected with some paints. So if you're dealing with your body paint like rubbing off or staining things, to some extent there's not a whole lot you can do about this. One thing that could help is setting your paint. I know a lot of people will just go without setting their paint, and that's, please don't do that. That's so bad. But you may also just want to consider using a different type of paint. Something like PAX obviously won't rub off on clothes the same way a water-based paint will. At my panel, actually, somebody brought up using Scotchgard, which I have yet to use. But they said that it worked really well. Maybe you're just concerned with how long it takes to apply all of this body paint constantly every day of the con. I wore Starfire one time for like 3 days out of a 4-day con. I think to some level because I hate myself, but I don't know. And it really did take like 3 hours every single day I applied it. So one of the ways you can help make that faster is getting a buddy, having someone else help you do it. I think I had 1.5, 2 people helping. I say 1.5 because I think most points someone was busy and just kind of half-heartedly helping, which is fine, that all works. But getting an extra friend, using a bigger brush. For the longest time I just used a foundation-sized brush to do all of the body paint, and that takes so long. Recently I got myself a big kabuki brush, and the bristles fill up that much space, and so it's way bigger and it goes way faster to apply. And also an airbrush machine could be the thing you want to use. It is the more expensive tip for this option, and you do want to make sure you clean it really well, especially if you're using something like PAX in there. I probably talked about this in the last video, but if your skin starts feeling weird, like a burning sensation, it's probably time to get out of the body paint. When I tried Flame Princess for the first time with body paint, my face burned and it was not good. So if you realize this is burning, this is uncomfortable, go wash your face off immediately. That's part of why I'll recommend doing makeup tests beforehand. So another concern a lot of people have is body paint will stain your clothes. The biggest advice I can say is start treating immediately. The sooner you can get on to washing it out, the sooner it will get out. I don't recommend using hot water. In fact, I recommend using like cool water, maybe even cold water. But I've started carrying these around in my cosplay kits, just so that it's a Tide stain stick, just so that if something happens and like I can't do anything about it, it does give me a little bit more time, because it does have cleaning products that will work on the costume piece. But for the most part, stains can be a little challenging, because if you don't treat them immediately, your body heat can actually set them into the fabric a lot easier. Like I mentioned before, with body paint rubbing off on things, using something like a Scotch Guard could help protect your fabric. Again, I don't have a ton of experience using Scotch Guard, but it's worth looking into. So Scotch Guard can be really helpful. Also, using a paint that won't rub off can help. But if you get paint on your clothes, honestly, the best thing you can do is wash it off. If it's something like packs, you may not be able to as easily. I was doing a project with a prosthetic piece with liquid latex, and I had a leather dress on, and some latex spilled on the dress, and if it wasn't leather and I couldn't have just wiped it off, it would have stayed on that dress forever. So just be aware of that. I usually recommend wearing like crappy clothes while you're painting yourself and doing your makeup, and then changing into your costume once it's all done. But basically, don't let your body heat set the stain into the clothes. Use something like a stain pen, a stain remover pen, to help lift it to the best of your ability, and try to treat it as quickly as possible. I'll include some links below for like stain removal that I found and that seemed helpful. But thanks for watching. Sorry it took me so long to get this video out. Feel free to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you actually get notified. And I'll see you maybe next week, because I'm not on Con Crunch, so I should be able to put out another video. I hope. I really hope. Bye! Hey everyone, real quick, I didn't mention this at all in the video, so a quick PS before signing off. Thank you so much to everyone who came to FanX, who went to my panel, who got pictures of me during the convention. I had so much fun, and you guys were so cool. It was really fun to do. That was my first panel, and it was really fun to have everyone like asking questions and looking interested. It was way fun. So I'm currently working on figuring out what cons I'm going to in the future. I'm looking at a couple Texas cons, so if you're down south, here I come. But we're still working out some logistics of it, because there's a lot of travel involved. But I may be going to Anime Bonsai in October. Again, working out, getting time off, and figuring out travel and everything, but I'll keep you posted. If you don't already, go ahead and follow my Instagram, because that's where you'll get the most up-to-date information on what cons I'm going to. And also like cosplays I'm working on. But thanks so much, and have a great day.